Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lords of the Night. And with me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Ponies, SDA.
Hi.
And I am the Lord of BDSM, because I spent 2 hours talking about it today, or at least assisting and such. I'm also fighting a bit of a headache, so if I seem a little bit off tonight, that's probably why. But aside from my headache, how are you guys doing?
Not bad.
Good.
Okay. We're so energetic. Let's see. So before we begin, is there anything we need to cover ahead of the snooze?
How did your beating women talk go?
It went really well. There were ultimately 7 people in the stream. And before the stream started, I said to everyone, I've been doing this for a little while now, so let's keep it very structured. And everybody was very, everybody took their turn speaking, and it was all very efficient. There wasn't any crosstalk. It wasn't chaotic. We had about an hour and a half of going over a set of questions that had been prepared ahead of time for us to discuss on our own. And then we had the last half hour for chat, so it was very much like one of our shows, amazingly enough, since I was essentially moderating it. And I think the people that listened to it, the feedback we got was relatively positive. So I'm looking forward to see what other comments we get.
I don't know how I forgot to mention this. I have T-shirts now.
Oh my god!
Which everybody wanted. So.
Well, send me the link to your Teespring deal, and I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I just put it in chat too. But
okay.
There's Snoochadoodle, Smush Cookie, Kami from Connecticut. I'm not from Connecticut, just stuff. So
yeah, sure, you're not from Connecticut. Yeah.
Well, there's both, so it's like you can either be a commie from Connecticut or you can deny it. I have options.
Okay, so that is now in the description for everyone to see. But Monkey, do you have anything to talk about ahead of time?
I really don't. I've missed most of the day because I've been playing video games. I've just taken a day to relax and play video games.
Cool. Well, all right. Then I guess we'll move on to the snooze. There wasn't much today, or at least not on the world reality bending scale. But we do have Russia news because, you know, it's a day that ends in Y. Where the House and the Senate were doing work on a Saturday, which is kind of odd, but maybe not. I don't know politics that well. Congress reaches Russia sanctions deal. I guess we're still doing this. The House and Senate reached a deal Saturday to slap Russia with fresh sanctions and give Congress new veto power to block any easing of those sanctions, an agreement that could send a new bill to President Donald Trump's desk before the end of the month. House and Senate negotiators announced an agreement that was reached Saturday morning for a bill that would include new sanctions against Russia, Iran, and North Korea. I can't imagine what more we could say to North Korea that's bad at this stage of the game, but let's see. Despite the White House lobbying for changes to the measure, the legislation will give Congress a new ability to block the administration from easing sanctions on Moscow. So the Congress doesn't trust the president. Okay.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah. Democrats and some... Yeah, I suppose. Democrats and some Republicans have expressed concerns that Trump is considering giving Russia back 2 compounds in Maryland and New York that were seized by the Obama administration in December. Quote, given the many transgressions of Russia and President Trump...
What?
What?
Sorry.
What?
I said like what? They said many transgressions.
Oh, right. Yeah, the ones they still haven't proven or...
Yeah, that's why I'm like, fuck. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me why you would demonize a world superpower with no good reason. I don't get it.
I also love the next part of the statement. Given the many transgressions of Russia and President Trump's seeming inability to deal with them, because they all took place during Trump's administration, by the way. No, they didn't. If they took place at all, it took place during Obama's tenure. Seeming inability to deal with them, a strong sanctions bill, such as the one the Democrats and Republicans have just agreed to is essential, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said in a statement. I expect the House and Senate will act on this legislation promptly in a broad bipartisan basis to send the bill to the president's desk, which he could conceivably veto, but I suppose he probably won't. The House will vote on the bill on Tuesday, according to House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy's schedule, and the Senate is likely to take it up after that, although Senate leaders haven't said when they will bring it to the floor. Congressional aides say they expect Trump will sign the bill because it will likely pass both chambers with strong veto-proof majorities. In a text message to CNN, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says he sees the agreement, quote, quite negatively. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, and then they go into a little bit of review over the quote-unquote horrible things that Russia did and the sanctions that happened late last year. Yeah, I'm still waiting for somebody to show me how Russia did anything overtly wrong to us.
I mean, recently, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was that whole, I mean, every James Bond movie from 1980 backwards tells us what Russia was really up to. But you know what I mean. Let's see. Make sure the chat's got something going on there. Hello, everybody in chat. I see some carryovers from the BDSM stream, so hello. Hope you enjoyed both of them. And then we have this, which this is kind of where the title of the stream comes from. Because as I said in Twitter earlier today, G.I. Jane, the movie, is one of my guilty pleasures. But true to life, first woman enlists to become a Navy SEAL. It doesn't necessarily mean she'll make it through training, but she has enlisted to do so. A woman will train with other potential officers this summer in hopes of becoming the first female Navy SEAL. The candidate, a midshipman, and another woman have enlisted as the first female candidates. Oh, so it's more than one. Okay, seeking to join the Navy's Special Operations teams. The latter is training for the Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman Program, or SWCC. These women have already made history, but they still face a long road ahead of training and tests before they officially make the cut. Women weren't allowed to serve in combat roles, including a special operation forces such as the SEALs NWCC, until January 2016. But there were no female applicants in the 18 months since that historic change until now. The candidates' identities and training progress are confidential to protect their personal security and, quote, career viability as future special operator. Shouldn't be operators, whatever. Lieutenant Commander Mark Walton, a spokesman for the Naval Special Warfare Command, told CNN.
Well, yeah, it would make sense that they wouldn't just be like, here's going to be the new Navy SEALs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That was also the case in the G.I. Jane movie. They tried to keep her secret, but of course it became a big deal. And I'm curious whether or not anything that occurred in the script of that movie will find its way into reality as we go forward.
SEAL training is a bitch, and
yeah,
it is no joke. And
I mean, most people who apply don't make it.
Yeah, there's a very small percentage of those that apply that actually get through the training.
You know, I'm actually glad that we are in such a position that we can be that persnickety, because it means that things are pretty damn good.
Now, go ahead.
I just hope this, because we had the same thing. I talked about the story with the first female F-14 pilots. Mm-hmm. I don't want them pushed through just because they're women, and I hope they don't fall for that trap.
I really hope they don't either, because I mean, being a Navy SEAL is not the time to play with that. I mean, that's the time to just be as, you know, choosy and harsh as possible.
Yes.
I know it's not as much fun for women, but I don't care. You know, it's not about your feelings. It's about whether or not you can actually do it.
The one part about the movie that I hope is not the case is that there was a plot point where at certain obstacles in some of the courses, they would provide the single female candidate equipment to have an advantage to sort of simulate equitable ability as men. So like climbing over a wall, they put out like a step that would allow her to get a leg up, so to speak, over the wall. And the character in the movie picked that step up and threw it aside and did everything that she was supposed to do, just like the guys did, which is, to the character's credit. I'm curious if anything like that is anywhere near what's going to happen here. I'd be curious to find out. But as far as the percentage that makes it through, it says at the bottom of the article, there are about 1,000 SEAL candidates who start training every year. Usually only about 200 to 250 make it all the way through training. So yeah, it's weeds people out.
It's a stretch for anybody, let alone women.
Yeah, the training is, quote, designed to weed out the weak, as the Navy Special Operations Training website warns. It's an accurate description considering most candidates don't make it. 73% of aspiring SEALs and 63% of SWCC candidates fail to make the cut. So, yeah, I guess we'll time will tell. If they do make it, it'll be big news. If they don't make it, they probably will not make it big news.
If they do make it, good on them.
Yeah, no, seriously. If they make it through SEAL training.
I've run the SEAL obstacle course, and just running that's not even their training. Just running that kicked my ass when I was in the best shape of my life.
Thank you, Sanguine. Yeah, hopefully the Navy doesn't screw the pooch like the Army did and lower the requirements. Edwardian action movie. Sanguine. Jesus. And thank you, Lanny Stanfield. Demi Moore was able to pull it off for the 2 hours she was in a movie. Real life is more like at least 9 months of super intense training. Oh yeah, no, I'm not confusing movie with reality. I'm just saying that the portrayal of events in the movie, as far as I have been told and as far as I knew, was a relatively accurate representation of some of what they go through. So even if it's, if that's only like a percentage of what would happen in real life, then yeah, if these ladies make it through, then hey, they earned it by all means.
As long as they actually make it through.
Yes. Edwardian action movie.
What does that even mean?
I'm not quite sure. I've got to think about that one. That might be an MSS News project. Sanguine says, Scribe Light, have to make the ads interesting for you. Oh, they're interesting, all right. They're interesting. Thank you for the donation. Okay, so after that, I only have a couple of stories, and honestly, there's only 2 of them, so it's not really a potpourri kind of thing. We could do it, but I'd just rather just read them and get on to MSS News, honestly.
Okay, that's fine. Real quick, because a couple people have asked why I'm being a little bit more inconsistent with showing my face. My skin is really sensitive, and the makeup is just killing it. It's like it's really red and puffy, and it hurts. So that's why.
Yeah. What happened?
Oh, Lady Monkey sneezed. I said, bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you, Lady Monkey.
Chat, bless Lady Monkey.
Yeah, or else her soul.
Sneeze. It goes.
Oh, jeez.
So cute.
Oh, God. Okay, so I've got, I'm going to do this story first. And I'll do the second story, second, because it actually has a longer conversation I think will happen between us, because it's got more dimensions to it. But anyway, inmate caught after kicking out window of moving patrol car.
Okay.
Authorities in Virginia have recaptured an inmate the day after he escaped by kicking out the window of a moving patrol car. Albemarle County Police, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, say 26-year-old Matthew Carver of Crozet was recaptured on Saturday after an overnight manhunt following a report about a suspicious man. Okay? Police say Carver was being taken to the Albemarle Charlottesville Regional Jail Friday evening when he kicked out the rear window of a moving patrol car in Louisa County and managed to escape. He already was charged with violating probation, breaking and entering, and abduction. Well, how fast was the car going? And what? They don't say. Like, well, I mean, did he like jump out at speed and do a roll? And I thought that was gonna be a much more exciting story. Thanks a lot, AP, for nothing.
James Bond escaped something.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And then there's this. Because, I'm a big movie / comic book nerd, and Monkey is to an extent, and SDA2 is to an extent. Ben Affleck to fans. I'm still Batman, despite rumors. Ben Affleck is still Batman. The actor shot down rumors that he would be hanging up his cape for the standalone Batman film, even though he recently ceded directing responsibilities. Speaking to a crowd of about 6,500 fans at San Diego Comic-Con, Affleck unequivocally assured the crowd that he is still starring in The Batman. On Friday, the trade publication The Hollywood Reporter published a report that Warner Brothers was working on plans to usher out Affleck's Batman gracefully and suggested that it might happen before The Batman. The report threatened to overshadow Warner Brothers' flashy Hall H presentation on Saturday, which was focused on hyping the studio's big superhero mashup film, Justice League, which hits theaters in November. Yeah, and the reason I bring this up is because, well, A, I'm a big movie comic book nerd, and it also touches on a whole lot of other things they were announced today at the or last day or so at the Comic-Con. Like the Flash movie apparently is going to be an adaptation of the Flashpoint storyline. And for those of you that don't know what the Flashpoint storyline is, in very short terms, the Flash goes back in time, changes a pivotal moment in his life, and subsequently the entire universe as we know it is shifted in some crazy ways. If they're going to replace Ben Affleck, that would be a great segue into explaining why he's suddenly a different looking character.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But also the question is, if Affleck goes, does the DC cinematic universe pretty much implode in on itself without his lead name in it? Because really, out of everybody that's in... You okay?
Bless you.
Yes, because Irate Bear told my wife to throw something at me. She did.
Is it that easy? Okay, well, I'm going to...
It's harming me, yes.
Okay. Hold on a second.
What? Where'd you go?
Nothing. I just took a moment to put something into chat.
Oh, you fucker. You little motherfucker.
If it was that easy, it's like, well, okay, it's like, vending machine. Are you guys DC fans at all? I'm going to be talking about this stuff later on with you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I think my mom and I are going to go see Spider-Man again tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
I like DC. I don't like what they've done in movies pretty much since the first Batman, the first Tim Burton Batman.
Really?
What
about Dark Knight?
I like those, but not necessarily as the Dark Knight was a great film for the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Heath Ledger was awesome, and the story told around that was awesome. But
yeah,
Batman is not much of a part of it, really. And I really don't like... I'm not a big fan of the whole Dark Knight ideology anyway. I like Detective Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Not the one who's a broody, whiny shithead who can't stop whining about Martha.
Martha.
Yeah.
Why did you say the name?
Say my name. If they had adapted the Batman from the Batman animated series, because that was like the best balance of grim but also sort of like gallows humor.
Okay.
I really liked that version. If they could have found a way to make that character onto the screen and not just go completely grim jerkwad, and also not make him a ninja, for God's sakes. That was the thing I hated about Batman Begins. It's like, oh, he was trained to be a ninja.
Yeah.
But like, no. He trained himself. He was a self-made man. That was the whole point. I mean, sure, he got teachers and things, but he went to the mat himself to do that stuff. He didn't go off to... I mean, they basically took Doctor Strange's origin story, but made him a ninja. I was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I love the Batman character. Growing up, he was one of my favorites, and I actually the Dark Knight, the comic book part of it was awesome because he actually got hurt, and it was more than what you saw in that trilogy, which was just so.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Dark Knight movie was great, but Batman Begins, or Dark Knight Rises,
those sucked.
Yeah, they did, and they took a really great storyline. And I understand why they had to do it. This is one of those movie things because they couldn't bring in Nightwing. They couldn't bring in the guy who steps in for Batman. I forget his fucking name.
Azrael.
Yeah. They couldn't bring in all of these characters without setting up a huge universe. So I get part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they start you off with Bruce Wayne and in the first movie, and then by the third movie, he's so beaten and broken that Bane didn't even really have to break his back.
No.
He walked like me, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he starts the movie with a limp and a cane and everything. He has to have like this robotic brace on his leg just so he can move correctly.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't, yeah, no, The Dark Knight is a standalone movie. If you just ignored everything from Batman Begins and didn't even worry there was ever going to be a sequel again, as a standalone, it's decent. I wasn't happy with what they did with Two-Face. That should have been, he should have had his own movie. He should have been a standalone movie bad guy, but
who would he have been the bad guy too? I feel like such an idiot asking that question, but
what now?
Who would he have been, like the bad guy to Batman still?
Yeah, Two-Face is a Batman villain.
But he was in a movie with the Joker, right?
Yeah, he was in Batman, The Dark Knight. He was he was a supplementary bad guy. He was, Harvey Dent was a plot point. They shouldn't have killed him off at least. If they were going to have his origin story be in that movie, they should have carried him over into the next movie, is what I thought they were going to do. And then when they killed him off, I was like, what a waste. What an absolute waste of a great character.
You know what offended me most about The Dark Knight was how quickly he catches Scarecrow at the beginning.
Yeah.
it's almost a throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
It's like, here's a cameo of a character we introduced last time that was so sinister. He has survived the whole movie. And now it's like, now he's what was it? He was dealing guns or drugs or something, and just, I got you.
Caught him in a parking garage. No big deal.
Yeah, no fear gas, none of that stuff. And in the comic books, like Scarecrow is, depending on who's writing him, of course, he could be a really formidable bad guy. But no, he's just a thug in this. It's like, okay, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because the whole saga of DC's movieverse and Ben Affleck, and I watched the latest preview for Justice League just before the stream. And there's this previews? Oh yeah, they've released a whole set of new trailers for movies from the Comic-Con. There's a Justice League one, Stranger Things.
The Comic-Con happened. Clearly, I'm like so up to date on.
You're way behind. But anyway, the Justice League trailer, there's this part where there's this voiceover from Batman, and they're talking about the death of Superman. Okay. A spoiler alert, Superman dies at the end of Dawn of Justice.
Dies, air quotes.
Yeah,
right?
Air quotes. Yeah, he's coming back.
Because like they kill him and then the first thing they do is levitate some dirt. So it's like,
exactly.
Yeah. Very convincing movie. Thank you.
But there was this voiceover from Batman that said, Superman was a beacon of hope. And I was like, no, he wasn't. He destroyed Metropolis. He was a grim, unlikable jerkwad. He wasn't a beacon of hope. He didn't, and like, he brought out the best in people. Like, no, he didn't.
No, you know what? The original Superman did, sure, in the comic books and the first
not
four
that
movies.
Superman, though.
Not
you
this
wanted
Superman.
To kill him last movie,
right?
Because your friendo died, and now you're just like, it was a beacon of hope.
Well, and what's really striking to me is that I just started watching the second season of Supergirl. Because I'm trying to catch up on all this.
Oh, stuff. Yeah. Isn't Superman coming in Supergirl?
Whoa, yuck.
Yes.
That's literally the poster, though.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it is. That was hilarious. But here's the thing. That aside, in the first episode or two, Superman shows up. And he didn't show up except in like abstract or in like profile in the first season. So when he finally shows up, the Superman in Supergirl, as portrayed, is 20,000 times better a Superman than the big movie version.
It's
because
not the same actor, is it?
No, it's not the same actor, but the way they portray him, it's like
Is it the same universe?
No.
Okay.
It's all different stuff.
So it's not like Marvel where the TV shows are also...
The TV shows are nebulously connected in the Marvel universe. They haven't had...
They happen in the same universe. They don't have to all be like interconnected for everything to be happening in the same universe, right?
Yes, they are. Like I said, they are peripherally connected to the Marvel universe. But the Superman in Supergirl is the Superman you wished would be in the movies because he's happy, He's making jokes. He's having fun. And when he needs to be serious, he's serious. But otherwise, he's just like the kind of Boy Scout you'd want him to be. And I just look at this and thinking, why is it that the DC TV is so much better than anything they've made in a movie? I mean, after watching The Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow and everything, I'm like, they should just stop making movies. Just stop making movies and let the TV people do their bit, because they're doing those superheroes way better than the big budget movies. But anyway.
And the Marvel just needs to chill with the thingies.
Well, I'm curious as what they're going to do with Infinity War, because I assume they're going to take that opportunity to reshuffle some.
Oh yeah, that's the movie. But they're doing the Inhumans is not movie, right?
Inhumans is a TV show. It
was supposed to be like the final movie.
No, well, it was. Yeah, there was supposed
originally.
to be. There was supposed to be originally an Inhumans movie. They changed that to a TV show in order to make room for Captain Marvel, I think it is. And the other piece of good news that came out of the Comic-Con today is that the second season of Iron Fist will have a completely different showrunner, because they seem to understand they fucked up the first time. So yeah, the guy who did Sleepy Hollow apparently is taking over for running season 2 of. It's a TV show.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough.
I know the
stuff.
things.
Yes.
I know the pop cultures. Is Sleepy Hollow good? Chat, tell me. I want to find a new TV show to watch.
I've heard it's
because the Vampire Diaries ran out of episodes, and I'm lost.
No!
You just calm your shit. All right.
What?
My youngest like Sleepy Hollow. I tried watching it and couldn't get into the first episode.
Hey, Pat. Pat's in chat.
It's Pat.
Did anybody tell me how it's Sleepy? Oh, you probably haven't heard it yet. I'm sorry. I forget that we're on a delay.
So let's see. Barring anything else coming up, let's see. Colleen Bernier says, Scribe Light, it was a show. It got canceled. Yeah, I've heard differing things about it. I heard it was like one of those things that you completely love or hate. I never saw any of it.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Because if it's not on Netflix, I'm like, never mind. I don't even care.
Let me check to make sure no news has broken in the last half hour. Nope. Okay. So on to MSS News. And chat, if you have any stories you'd like us to take a look at, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. And we will take a look.
So never mind. I don't care if it's good or not. I can't watch it. Unless it's on Hulu. But rarely are all the episodes on Hulu.
Yeah, they only hold them on for a little while.
Yeah, which is so annoying. Just keep them.
Okay, our first story comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier. And I hear there's one from Mashisu that I have to read, so I will look for that shortly. So this one says, pregnant wife put chilies up woman's vagina after catching husband and her having sex.
How did she get in there?
What?
Okay. A pregnant wife who caught her husband cheating punished his mistress by putting chili peppers up her vagina. Lai Chanel, 23, became suspicious when her husband of 7 months, Chien Kyo, 24, kept disappearing for hours on end. The 23-year-old and 4 friends followed Chien to a motel before bursting in on him having sex with a young girl in Tai Nguyen Province, northeast Vietnam. Wearing latex gloves, Lai and the women held down the mistress and took pictures as they removed her underwear on Tuesday afternoon. They then opened a large bag of super hot 200,000 Scoville unit red bird's eyes chilies and pushed them inside the woman's vagina, causing her to be in excruciating pain from the hot spices.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Horrifying pictures, which we have decided not to publish, show the woman being held down by her head, arms, and legs as the red seeds from inside the peppers are smeared across her body and the bed sheets. The group then posted the pictures online, boasting of the punishment. Holy shit.
That is ridiculous.
Well,
now I get why he's hiding from you.
She didn't cheat on her. The dude did. Shove him up his ass.
Yeah, I was about to say, why aren't you shoving the red hot chili peppers up his dick?
I mean, and plus you also, she might not even know that
That's also possible.
you're a wife, and specifically the wife of the guy who
spicy
she's
Asian
currently
right there.
fucking.
Well,
oh my God.
here's the funny part, or not really funny, but what could she possibly suffer as a punishment for this? If chili smears cause injury to another woman's genitalia, the wife may be dealt with under Article 104 of the Penal Code, and may be subject to administrative sanctions and a fine of 70 to 100 pounds. If there's a possibility of suing this lady in civil court for, pain and suffering, I would certainly go for it.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I would too.
They have all the evidence they need.
That's not enough. Like, that's literally torture.
Yeah, that's if they posted pictures of what they were doing to this lady online, then it's an open and shut case for a civil suit. Granted, I don't know how the Vietnamese judicial system works, but
yeah, when you started with the names, I was like, okay, it didn't happen in America.
Okay, I'll do one more from Colleen Bernier, and then I'll look for the Mashi Sue one, so we make sure to get that one in. But yeah, this next one comes from.
What about mine?
Well, I didn't say I'm going to stop there. I just said I'm going to make sure I find Mashes.
I just want to make sure that.
Okay, hold on.
I just want
to.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Keep going. It's fine.
Staff reporter Colleen Bernier gives us this one, which I'm curious if this is someone we know. YouTube star lets best friend try out her boyfriend's penis. Okay. An internet vlogger has stunned viewers with the reason she let her best friend sleep with her boyfriend. YouTuber Lena Nersasian, who calls herself Lena the Plug. Have you ever heard of Lena the Plug? I've never heard of this person.
Oh, real quick, Ace Phoenix in chat said surely that could be considered sexual assault, and I'm assuming he's not meaning me cutting you off. Yeah, like you are technically raping her with chili peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's technically rape. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, inserting things unwillingly.
Lena what? Lena Bop? No.
Lena the Plug.
Plug.
So she told her 900,000 subscribers for what? What did she do? She wanted
to mostly show off her boobs from what I can see in the thumbnails.
She told her subscribers she wanted her friend Emily to have sex with Adam so she can, quote, try his penis. In an odd twist of logic, she reasoned that as Emily knew everything about her sex life, she should join in. She said, quote, girls and guys share their sexual stories with each other. Friends tell each other everything. So Emily has seen pictures of Adam's dick. She knows all about our sex life. I tell her everything. And now I don't have to tell her. She can just try his penis. All right. Adam was pretty happy to take part in the online experiment, although he said he was feeling the pressure to, quote, perform. He said, let me just say, I can't even wrap my fucking head around how my life got to the point where I'm engaging in not only this activity in the first place, but with two girls that look like this. What do they look like? Okay, whatever.
I posted the link to the video where they talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of this person. Enjoy your shared diseases, I guess. I don't know.
I was expecting them to be skinnier. I don't know why, but okay.
Okay, so where's Mash's story? Is this... Which one did he want? No, that's not it. There was something specific about this story I was supposed to look for, right?
Wow, this is an interesting video. They actually had to blur part of it.
Oh, God.
Wait, what part? Where?
It's near the end. There's a girl in red laying across the bed while the guy and the other girl are sitting up there. Apparently, she's not wearing any panties.
So
her meat flaps are out, y'all.
Mash, what story am I supposed to read? Or SDA, what story is it? He's got like 5 on here. There's nothing on here about trannies.
Yeah, there is. You're just not doing it right.
I see yours about the transsexual thing.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No, Mash's story. You said that Mash had a story that he didn't want me to read.
No. Let me explain. Let me fix this.
Okay.
What Mash said was, "Don't let Scribe steal your story like he did mine," meaning
don't. Okay. Well,
So
I
you're
thought it
supposed
was
to read SDA.
Mash's story. Okay.
Nope.
Well, then I will read SDA's story then. I misheard. All right. So Army prepares women to shower with men as part of transgender training. Okay. The U.S. Army is telling women soldiers that they need to accept gender-confused biological men in their showers, bathrooms, and barracks as part of a controversial policy to build, quote, dignity and respect for transgender soldiers. I have a feeling this was written by somebody with a distinct opinion, so going on. The guidance is part of the Pentagon's new transgender inclusion agenda launched by Obama and gaining ground in the armed services. Social conservatives are mounting a counteroffensive to ditch the trans program altogether. President Trump and the Pentagon have sent mixed signals on LGBT issues, with the DoD honoring gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender Pride Month in June, even as Trump himself broke with Obama by not issuing? How about by not issuing? By not issue a homosexual pride proclamation. In Vignette 4 of an Army's PowerPoint guidance titled Policy on the Military Service of Transgender Soldiers Training Module Tier 3, Units and Soldiers, issued last September, it states the following regarding a hypothetical transgender soldier who is transitioning to a new gender. So this is from the little PowerPoint slide. Number 4, understand that you may encounter individuals in barracks, bathrooms, or shower facilities with physical characteristics of the opposite sex, despite having the same gender marker in DEERS. I'm not quite sure what DEERS is. It's a shorthand for something. Number 5, also, all soldiers should be respectful of the privacy and modesty concerns of others. However, transgender soldiers are not required or expected to modify or adjust their behavior based on the fact that they do not match other soldiers. Interesting. Let's see. Following her transition from male to female, which did not include sex reassignment surgery and gender marker change in DEERS, the Army's personnel system, Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System, a transgender soldier begins using female barracks, bathroom, and shower facilities. Because she did not undergo a surgical change, the soldier still has male genitalia. The pro-transgender lesson then offers the following 2 points among 6 considerations and responsibilities required of Army personnel in such cases. 1, understand that you... Oh, we already... Yeah, they're just reiterating that, but misnumbering it for some reason. The Army's transgender-affirming documents are startling in the degree to which they, 1, cater to a tiny percentage of gender non-conforming Americans, and 2, risk alienating the privacy and conscience rights of a much larger pool of Army soldiers in the name of providing dignity and respect to the severely gender confused. Yeah, so it just kind of goes on like that for about 4 more pages. So
I'm confused what the point is there.
I guess just that like men are going to be showering with women.
And women are going to be showering with men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good idea in the armed forces.
I don't think so either. I think that's just like sexual. I mean, whether it actually happens or whether it's accusations, you know, it's just going to be sexual assault case after sexual assault case. And I'm sure it's going to be false accusations and actual things happening. I think it's going to be both.
Just make it co-ed showers and things, or
no, that's a horrible idea.
I don't know how else they're going to get around this, because it's just going to go.
We need to get trannies out of the fucking military. Any group of people who have literally a 40% failure rate of life, like, should not be in the military. Sorry. You can, I don't know, like, get people coffee or something, but well, look, if you have serious mental issues like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or depression, they don't let you in. I mean, 40% of transgender people kill themselves. That's a really high failure rate.
Well, if the military considered being transgender a mental illness that disqualified you from being in the military, would we even be having the conversation?
Well, I mean, typically transgender people are diagnosed with other mental illnesses as well. So,
well, sure, but I mean, like I say, if it was inherently considered by the military something that was disqualifying, we wouldn't even be having the conversation. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong or anything, but it is going to happen, apparently.
No, I get it, and I disagree. I disagree with it. I don't. I think it's a whole bunch of unnecessary risks, and I get it. It disappoints people, but I mean, it is what it is.
I really don't want to read this story because it's already making me feel sick reading the title. But hey, that's what we're here for, right? Right.
Yeah.
This also comes from staff reporter Colleen Bernier. Mum sparks outrage after making breast milk brownies for school bake sale.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see. You might want to check the ingredients.
Holy crap.
You might want to check the ingredients in those cakes at your kid's school bake sale next time, because it could be a random woman's breast milk and you would have never even known. Parents and children at one school allegedly found out the hard way after one mother admitted to using her own breast milk in brownies she was selling because she didn't have time to buy some.
It was quicker to milk herself.
Writing on Facebook, the mom, who has not been identified, reportedly claimed, quote, "I made brownies for my school bake sale that had breast milk in them." Okay.
Is there a picture of this woman?
No, because they haven't been identified. I'm gonna read the Facebook post. It'll probably be repeated in the text here in a moment, but I'm gonna read it as it was posted there. So the unidentified woman says, "Sigh, let me try for the third time now. Sigh, stupid Facebook. I need some advice. I made brownies for my school bake sale that had breast milk in them. I didn't have time to run to the store and didn't think it was a big deal. Parentheses, some of those kids could use the nutrition, let's be honest, parentheses, and it wasn't even that much. One of the other moms found out and are blowing it way out of proportion. I don't know what to do. Any suggestions?"
Yeah, don't use breast milk when you're making brownies.
Like, what if you have AIDS, you crazy bitch? That's how you give people AIDS. Fuck you.
I like how she tries to make it about nutrition. These are fucking brownies.
Yeah.
But her breast milk is going to give them nutrition. Oh my God.
Let's see. Her post obviously resulted in major backlash, attracting more than 200 angry comments in just half an hour. It was also quickly picked up by the popular page Sanctimommy, which took a screenshot and obscured the woman's identity before posting it. One person commented, quote, "Let us spare a moment of silence for the children of Booby Crocker." Another comment said, "Next time, try a sugar-free, gluten-free recipe and you should be fine. Pro tip, make them soy-free as well. And obviously, sneak in some spinach and quinoa." Ugh.
No, it's quinoa. Oh my
God. Quinoa. I don't know.
Oh my.
I don't know.
I can't believe you.
I'm not a cook.
How did anybody find out about this?
She must have told somebody, obviously, because
I mean,
well, I mean,
unless somebody went, "Wait, I've had breast milk brownies before, and this is them."
She just says like one of the other moms found out. I don't know how they found out without her telling them. So
maybe she had a little brownie batter on her nipple, and they could see it.
Barf. Okay. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, we'll do one more. Let me find something from. What do we got here? Okay, this going back to Comic-Con briefly, just because what the hell. This is from staff reporter Jack Cochran. Civil rights icon Representative John Lewis leads march through Comic-Con in San Diego. Okay. Civil rights leader John Lewis led a march through Comic-Con on Saturday. About 1,000 people joined the Georgia Democrat on a march through the crowded San Diego Convention Center following a panel discussion about his trilogy of graphic novels, March. Okay. Some chanted, "No justice, no peace," as the group wound its way past costume characters and mystified conventioneers. Those who recognized the congressman stopped to greet him and shake his hand. One man confessed that he was near tears at the opportunity to meet someone so instrumental in the fight for social change. Okay. Okay, the graphic novel series tells the story of Lewis's childhood and how he became an activist for civil rights. It details the movement's nonviolent protests, from sit-ins and at lunch counters in the South and the bus boycott in the mid-1950s to marches in Selma, Alabama, and Washington, D.C. Okay. Lewis hadn't set out to become a comic book hero, and I don't think he is, but anyway, but he was receptive when Aiden, who worked on his campaign, approached him with the idea. His campaign assistant said, "I thought, why isn't there a John Lewis comic book?" Okay.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I want to have in my comic convention, is a political march.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sanguine. The real question is, did the Hugh cow properly pasteurize her boob juice, and did she have all the required vaccinations and meds? That is a very good question. We wouldn't want any, like, artificial growth hormone in the breast milk. So I think that'll end news for now on that note of civil rights marches through comic book conventions and breast milk brownies.
I think the breast milk brownies is a great story.
Yeah, that is. It is the breast story we read today.
No, it's stupid. No. Jack Cochran, tweet me, because it's you who wants the shirt about nobody cares about your dead baby, Sam, right? I said that in one of the book streams because there's a character, Sam, who I don't like, who just is constantly complaining about stuff, and then at some point he's like, "I had a kid and it died," and I said something along the lines of, "Nobody cares about your dead baby, Sam." So yeah, what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, with that, we are into YouTube time. So, Monkey, what'd you do today?
I played video games.
Oh. Did you play video games on YouTube?
I did not.
Oh. Okay. SDA? What'd you do on YouTube today?
I went into the out.
You what?
Sorry.
I went into the out.
You went into the out.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I don't know what that means.
The out. Went out.
You went out. Oh, yeah.
I guess you guys haven't seen the movie Home.
No.
Because he's basically Sheldon, because it's voiced by Sheldon, says, "Can I come into the out now?" And it's like, never mind.
Yeah, you went to Red Lobster for dinner.
I did not go to Red Lobster. I went to a fancy restaurant.
What did you have at the fancy restaurant?
I had we had baked clams, and I had pasta in vodka sauce.
Oh my God. You're not old enough for that.
Shush. And they made it for me without onions. So
you went to a clam bake?
No.
Oh.
This is good.
Well, I, aside from this current broadcast, did as mentioned earlier, a stream earlier today on BDSM. Had a roundtable discussion with Laura Bones and Annie and Wild Tanuki and Tim and Sestra, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, and it was pretty interesting. Went over a lot of different perspectives on the subject and different people's experience levels and things like that. Hopefully, people find it interesting. It's posted on my channel right now. It's kept it to 2 hours, and for having, like I said, having 7 people in the stream, it went amazingly smoothly, all things considered.
Now, yeah. we've joked about the whole woman beater thing. Was there a female dom in there?
Let's see. We had a switch, who both does submissive and dominant.
Okay, thank you for explaining. Go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we had one switch. We had 3 submissives and 2 dominants. I think well, Wild Tanuki came in really late into the stream. I think he's also a dominant. So we had an even balance of like 3 doms, 3 subs, and 1 switch, and everyone sort of gave their personal perspective on that side of the equation, depending on which what they were talking about. So I think it was a fairly well balanced set of perspectives.
You're happy with the stream then? How it turned out?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't informational to me per se, because well, on the one hand, I've heard most of what was said are things that I've heard from other people in the past. I mean, I don't share all the same likes and dislikes and perspectives as everybody else, but that's also because BDSM can be such a personal thing. There's not really, short of somebody saying, this is how you do this thing to a person, and it's something that's demonstrably dangerous, there's not a whole lot to debate, because it's your own personal, it's like discussing what you like sexually. It's like, well, if you like it and that's what you like and it's nothing illegal, then who cares? And I don't have to debate it with you because that's your thing. And so hopefully it was more informative for someone in the audience who either was not as experienced or had questions or was just curious about it.
I do have a question for you about that, because there are some people. I apologize. Lady Monkey's dying behind me. You okay, baby?
Yeah. That's how you help a dying person. Are you okay?
She said, yeah.
Oh, well, go take care of Lady Monkey. We can wait.
No, it's fine.
Jesus. Good God.
There are some feminists out there who claim BDSM is just a way to beat women. I mean, I know we make that joke, but seriously, that's what they argue.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to someone like that?
I say that, well, first and foremost, that not all submissives are female. So there are plenty of women that get to beat men all the time, and there's plenty of men that like to be beaten. Secondly, even if you decided to say, for the sake of argument, that women are always on the receiving end of it, in a healthy BDSM relationship, there is what is called a power exchange. It's not called power stealing or anything else. If the submissive does not want it to happen, it doesn't happen, because either the submissive is willing to give over control to the dominant, or they're not. And if they're not, there's no exchange of power, and there's nothing can happen. And if you're imagining a situation where someone is being abused against their will or anything else, that is as healthy a relationship in BDSM as it would be in anything other than BDSM. That's not a relationship that is considered a healthy one, no matter what the situation is. So if you're talking about an actual BDSM power exchange, in many ways, the submissive holds more power over the situation than the dominant does. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're letting people beat you.
Yeah, because if you say no, that's an immediate stop, or if you say your safe word or whatever else. This is why they have boundaries. This is why you have a discussion with your partner before you do anything, and you set limits and you set expectations. And if you cross that line, there's certain room to maneuver. If you're with somebody that you trust relatively, and they, as an example, and I've used this example before, let's say the submissive says, I don't like having my hair pulled. Just for the sake of argument, I don't like having my hair pulled. If in the heat of passion, or just in the heat of the moment, the dominant pulls her hair, but then he realizes his mistakes, stops, eases off, and goes back to something else, that shows that they're aware of the boundaries, they respect the boundaries, and that is the power exchange of understanding there is a limit to what the submissive is willing to allow me to do. And there is the line, and I respect that line. And that is how that sort of back and forth dynamic works. Does that make sense?
It does. For the record, I'm not supporting this idea. It's just
no, I know, I understand, but I mean, if you're playing the devil's advocate, that's what I mean.
Feminism makes no goddamn sense to me in the first place. So, the argument, as I understand it, is that men basically trick their women into doing this shit, and therefore they do it just so they can dominate a woman.
Sure.
So again, it's feminism, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I did want to get your opinion on that because
and don't get me wrong, there are if you're completely naive and you read 50 Shades of Grey or something and have no other input as to what constitutes a healthy relationship, let alone a BDSM relationship, you could be misled, maybe not even intentionally, because we had a question like a couple of streams ago where somebody said, what's your best advice on relationships or romance or whatever? And I said, make sure that both of you understand what you mean when you say love, because love can mean different things to different people. And if you understand it one way and the other person understands it a different way, you're going to have problems. If someone comes into a BDSM situation with a dominant who doesn't know what they're doing, with a submissive that doesn't know what they're doing, then yeah, someone could be taken advantage of in the sense that if they think that a submissive's role is to not complain or to just take whatever is given, that is opening the door for a lot of dangerous things. But that is on the shoulders of the individual adults participating. If you don't take the time to really discuss things with your partner before anything happens, if you don't do your own research, if you don't have sort of a gradual evolution of activity with your partner before you get to something really complicated, then yeah, it's like anything else. If you jump in feet first without looking, you're probably going to hurt yourself.
You should scroll back up and find Lady Monkey's safe word. You'll enjoy that.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yes.
Is it nipple?
No, nope. You'll see it.
Okay. My safe word. Yes.
Told you.
Yes. Perfect. Lady Monkey knows exactly what to do. Yeah. So without going any further into that, because I could go on for a very long time.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, I could go on for a very long time on the subject if pester. I mean, if you want to know, I'm more than happy to discuss my perspective on it. But yeah.
For those of you watching this tomorrow, Lady Monkey said her safe word is, "Have you forgot how to eat pussy?" If you don't know why that's funny, go watch all of the streams until you figure out why.
Or go find the Monkey or the Lords of the Night / Monkey Stream lore wiki, which doesn't exist yet, but I'm sure somebody's working on without us knowing right now.
Well,
I didn't do anything. I don't know if you guys forgot that we didn't get to me yet, but I didn't do anything today.
I asked you what you did, and you said you went out to dinner, and that was it. Yeah.
Oh. I thought that was earlier.
That was
Scribe just talks forever. Okay, got it.
I was asked a serious question. I was giving a complete answer because I don't want to.
But in case you forgot or in case you weren't here, I have T-shirts now.
Yes.
By the way, you can get a Smush Cookie T-shirt or a Snoochadoodle T-shirt. And you should, because I said so.
All right. So while I look up stuff on the Edwardian era, so I know what the hell an action movie would look like from that time, do we have a deep topic that isn't... It could be BDSM related, but I don't know if we want to go any deeper into that rabbit hole. Yeah.
We get it. Eating women is fun. Okay, got it.
I'm sure it is.
It all depends. But anyway.
Ike Turner seemed to enjoy it.
Oh!
I went old school there.
Damn, dude.
Too soon?
Yes.
Deep topic. I had one earlier and it escaped me. Oh,
did it escape you by kicking out the window of a slow-moving police cruiser?
No, it did not.
Oh, okay.
SDA, are you going to motto those T-shirts?
Oh, there's an idea.
We
do that, Don?
But then you guys would have to see like me and not black, and we can't ruin the illusion.
We've seen you in not black.
Shut up. Don't tell people that. They'll think it's like a thing that happens. I wore navy blue today.
Ooh. So not black.
Well, apparently nobody cares about my shirts. Ouch.
Terry Diamante says the deep topic should be the usefulness of pen and paper for recording ideas.
Yes.
I am so sorry that happens so often. My mind is shit.
We need to get Monkey a notepad to hang around his neck with a pen taped to it so that he can...
I would forget why it was there.
Okay.
And the really fucked up part about this is I used to have an amazing memory. I really did.
What happened?
Medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My meds fucked me up, which is why I'm on Ritalin. Yeah, I'm on meds to like counteract the side effects of my meds. Woohoo!
We should talk about why CNN sucks so bad.
Do you listen to the streams every night? I'll give example after example, but
sorry. Actually, I'm gonna get a blue Smush Cookie T-shirt, just so you guys know.
Terry Diamandis. Now Jeff Holiday has an amazing memory. That's funny. Well played. Well played.
I don't get it. Why don't I get it?
Memory's his wife's name.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And it's spelled the way she spells her name.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even read it.
Uzi Q says SDA wore light blue the day she did the stream with Roaming Millennial. Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to impress her.
I still think you should get a pink shirt and wear it. I think pink would suit you. That's what we should do. Tell SDA what colors she would look good in. Oh, chat.
I can see that opening the door to some very interesting answers.
Blue looks better with my complexion than pink does, because my skin has warm undertones, so pink looks weird on me.
How about what snack food would you be willing to eat if you knew it had bodily fluids in it?
Oh. Ew, none of them. None of them.
I'm trying here, guys. You're not helping me much.
Let's talk about the Edwardian era. It lasted only 9 years, but it's called the era, which is weird.
That's a short era.
Yeah, because it only dealt primarily with the reign of King Edward VII, which lasted from 01 to 1910, or at least the era did. It's sort of that quasi-Victorian part of the time, you know? So I'm trying to think of like an action movie that deals with corsets, because that was a big thing.
Adrian said, hang on. My cousin died today, the 22nd, from brain cancer. My mom is taking it hard. Sorry to hear that. That sucks.
I'm sorry, dude. That's awful.
All right, well, this is a completely different direction, but Lanny Stanfield said, SDA, how about a let's woohoo in the hot tub shirt? I totally forgot I even said that. I'm glad you guys remember my quotable moments better than I do.
So how many shirts do you have up so far?
6 or so.
Okay.
I say a lot of crazy shit, so, you know.
Do you?
People don't like Nazis because Hitler made the Jews take showers, but I feel like that's
a little long.
It's a little long. It's a little much.
Once you put like the latter half of it on the back of the shirt.
Or just Hitler made the Jews take showers.
Scribe getting the microfiche out of a corset. That's more like a spy movie. I got to do an action movie. So, like, I don't even know. Edwardian. Jesus.
Do Die Hard set in Edwardian times.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to think of like a lady in a battle corset or something. Battle corset.
Carrying on.
Uzi Q said enough Hitler jokes.
There's never enough Hitler jokes.
Well, now I want to tell one more just to upset you. Somebody tell more Hitler jokes in the chat. Sorry,
Tall person said, carrying on from yesterday, have any of you guys seen Sargon's new Thinkery video and have any thoughts? I do have thoughts. When this stream comes down, I am going to be making videos, and the first one I'm going to be doing is going to discuss the whole Sargon situation.
Ace Phoenix said that's why shower heads have 11 holes, because Jews only have 10 fingers.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we discussed the Sargon saga, or at least the most recent one, a couple times now. And yeah, I think I said it last night. It's sort of Sargon's Bill Maher house nigger joke situation, where it's like, I'm going to go back on the principles I have so vehemently stated over the last several years to, quote, make a point by lowering myself to my opponent's level, which doesn't do anything.
There was a theory going around that this was a setup for some great video where he was going to make some great point. And his video was exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, four-dimensional chess.
I made you do this. You made the best argument for free speech for me. It's like, yeah, but you gave away the argument, jackass.
Yeah, but what did the train say on its way to Auschwitz say?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Choo-choo!
Jesus. Yeah, watch this stream get demonetized now.
Sorry.
Left, right, and center.
Look, someone said to stop with the Hitler jokes. And, like, you know, when you tell me to, like, I was going to, but then you told me to, and now I can't. Why did Hitler commit suicide? He got his gas bill. Oh, shit. That sucks.
BG says, how about things you can no longer do in movies that you could do in the 80s and 90s? So many things.
A true female damsel in distress.
Our go-to moment has always been the Revenge of the Nerds end scene.
Yeah.
Where Lewis goes down on Betty and she doesn't realize it's him. Because that's rape, y'all. But made for a great moment in the movie.
What happens in the movie?
She falls in love with him because he licks pussy so well.
Yeah. Or like half the jokes in Airplane. Can you imagine anybody trying to do those jokes today?
Oh, yeah.
They never get away with it.
Well, Mel Brooks came out and said, you know, many of his movies couldn't be made today because fuck, everything in them is... God, can you imagine? I've been trying to get the Honest Trailer guys to do an honest trailer for Blazing Saddles forever, and they won't touch it.
Sanguine, thank you. To add another weird one, consciousness transfers. Same you, but new body. What do you mean? Is that another movie I have to make?
He wants you to do.
Consciousness transfers?
Like transferring your consciousness?
I'm not questioning what it means. I'm questioning how I'm going to do an ad for that.
Oh, okay.
Do Freaky Friday with you and SDA.
Oh, Jesus.
With spunky roboting, or is that just me?
Just you. So you must be having the problem.
Me?
I guess. I didn't hear any roboting from Monkey.
Okay.
Your boy Pat says I speak jive. You know, I understood everything those guys said. I didn't need what's her name doing it for me.
What's jive?
Old school Ebonics. It was black speak where they had a lot of slang words, and if you didn't know what slang words were, you could be standing there going, huh?
Oh, and I told you guys about my film professor that was like obsessed with black people movies, right?
Yeah.
It's like this white woman with glasses. Half the movies we watched, I had no idea what the fuck was going on because I could not understand a thing that was being said.
Well, white girls from Connecticut. I mean,
it was all in English, but sort of.
Yeah, we need a topic that, or we need to just turn it over to these poor bastards.
Yeah, it's just, well, that's not my stream.
Yes. Who's the dominant now?
Excuse you.
I was talking about myself. What? Let's see. I'm trying to. Yeah,
SDA,
it's been such a slow day.
Oh, sorry, SDA. Where are these shirts at? Do you have your link for your store?
It's in the description.
In the description, guys.
Yeah, first entry in the description. You might have to refresh your page because I put it in there after the stream started, but it's right there.
Do you guys like Snoop Dogg narrating Planet Earth? Because it makes me happy.
Fucking love it. It's awesome.
It's so funny. What is these animals? I'm scared of it. It makes me happy.
There's not much Snoop Dogg could do that I wouldn't enjoy because he's funny.
I want Snoop Dogg to like give my eulogy.
Nice.
I got an idea.
Sure.
This kind of feeds into, like, I think, what everybody here has a passion for in a certain way. So it's kind of a steal, but if you hadn't seen the video, then you don't know what's going to be said here. But Red Letter Media, which is one of my favorite YouTube channels, they had a little video where they sat down and they said, okay, we have no idea what's going to happen in the Han Solo movie, but let's think up the worst possible plot points they could come up with to make this movie as stupid as we think it's going to be. So given that premise, do you want to talk about Han Solo movie? Or is there another movie that's upcoming we don't know much about that you think is going to suck? Or afraid is going to suck, since we have so many movies and TV shows coming out? What plot points or what storylines they could do to like ruin it?
We can kind of talk about Han Solo. I'm so afraid that they're going to do something that's just going to neuter him. And make him...
How so?
I don't know, like, backstory.
They're going to fuck around and make him a hero from the start.
And I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like it. I'm scared because I don't want it. Like, I'm afraid it's going to be like sad little boy that does a thing and then some stuff and now he's woohoo. Like, I don't like it.
Okay, so how does the movie open?
I don't know. Like, he's just a sad poor boy. He needs no sympathy. And a bad thing happens to him as child. And
well, what bad thing?
I don't know. Just generic bad thing.
Well, like, okay.
What? I mean, like any of them, it makes the outcomes the same. Like, whether his parents beat him, his parents die, like, it's all the same. He's still like poor pitiful child. It doesn't, plot wise, it doesn't matter. What bad thing? Just bad thing child wise.
I'm thinking he'll be like caught stealing and he'll get some lesson from an authority figure in his life, and that's going to come back at the end. That's going to make him do righteous things at the end, even though he still does bad stuff. Yeah, Silent Minority just said it there. Han Solo is Robin Hood. That's what I see happening. Even though in episode 4, when you first meet him, he's just the scoundrel he's made out to be. But I see this. They're gonna try to make him sympathetic. They're gonna make him a good character.
You don't think there'll be any evolution? It'll be just like they took the Han Solo from episode 4 and just transplanted that attitude 20 years in the past or something?
Yeah, it's going to be very much the same as what they did with Darth Vader. He's going to have a very noble reason for why he's smuggling stuff. It's not going to be that he's just a pirate.
For whatever else might happen in the movie, the thing I'm afraid of the most, and I was thinking about this months ago, is that they're going to treat it like Rogue One, and they will end it right where episode 4 begins for Han Solo.
I could see
which doesn't make any sense. Which doesn't make any sense at all for like how the character looks different or anything else. But Zenith says Spice Mines of Kessel. Well, that's the other thing too.
You miss Sanguine.
Sanguine says this is Han Solo, not Bohemian Rhapsody. SDA. Well, yes.
Yeah, but like they're gonna do something that gives you a reason to give a shit, and I don't want to give a shit about. I mean, like, I want to give a shit about Han Solo, but I want him to be an ass. He's an ass. Keep him an ass, please.
Well, he should have some evolution, but he shouldn't be a complete saint. That's part of the thing.
Yeah, but like not into like a good person.
Well, I mean, not until like
a bad person.
He wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, I know, but like
he was a rogue.
There's a difference between like a good person and just like Han Solo.
Well, Han Solo wasn't that bad. He was selfish. He was selfish, but he wasn't a villain.
I'm not saying he needs to be a villain.
I mean, I think he should.
Being good doesn't mean that you're bad. I think like you're overreacting here.
No, I'm not overreacting. I'm just saying that his evolution from I would hope that in the film he starts out as, let's say, misled by someone who takes him in. I mean, we have Woody Harrelson's character who's going to be like some kind of mentor, and I figure he's going to be sort of like, you've got the Artful Dodger. Okay, so Woody Harrelson's character is going to be the Artful Dodger kind of character who's just sort of like a thief. A little bit of a charming rogue, but otherwise just this side of being a villain. Han Solo is going to be his apprentice, so to speak, and they're going to go do some caper or something. And in the process, Han is going to free Chewie, and then we got to have the Kessel Run. I mean, everything that was ever mentioned about Han Solo's background is probably going to be crammed into this one movie. Number 13, scoundrel is the word, SDA.
Yeah, it's going to be too Disney-fied. I don't think they're going to do the character justice. Even in the first Star Wars Episode 4, he has a turnaround. He actually leaves at first and comes back to save Luke.
Yes.
But he almost left. Because that's who his character is. And the experience he had, even though it doesn't really make sense if you watch the movie because there's not much of an experience there, the experience he had is what makes him come back. So to get to a character like that, you have to have somebody who's been that way for some time. Somebody who is selfish and all about them, and I'm in it for the money. And I don't see how you make a good movie like that unless you make it almost a Godfather kind of movie. I'm not saying it has to be that, dramatic, but, these are just villains who you root for because they're the stars of the film.
Well, I think that would, like I said, I don't think he needs to be a bad guy, but a not good guy, I think, would make more sense because of who he turns into. Like, he's got to at least be an ass by episode 4. And if you do all the character development before episode 4, it's like, well, I guess he just had a relapse in assery or something.
Well, he has to, at the bare minimum, regardless of what his attitude is otherwise, he has to possess a code of honor. Some code of honor that is the limit to which he does not cross the line into full-on villain, regardless of how they characterize him otherwise. And I presume this is going to be telegraphed in some fashion in the early part of the movie, because the running theory is we're going to see some sort of like Rogue One. We'll see a brief opening where we see Han Solo as a child, where something horrible happens that sets him on his path, and then we'll jump ahead to his mid-20s or whatever the hell it is he's supposed to be at before episode 4.
How old is he supposed to be in episode 4?
I think he's supposed to be in his late 20s, early 30s, even though like Harrison Ford was practically in his 40s at that point, I think. Something like that.
How old is Luke supposed to be?
Luke was supposed to be like 18, 19, I think.
Yeah.
Something in there. Because it was 19. It was 19 years between episode 3 and episode 4.
FT Swayze said Han Solo should be a rich kid, but then his parents die in an alley after watching Space Zorro.
After watching what?
Space Zorro.
Space Zorro.
What's that?
The Mask of Space Zorro.
Oh, Batman.
Yes, it's a Batman. Yes.
Okay.
Several people have mentioned in chat that Han is an anti-hero. He's not an anti-hero.
Nah, he's not bad enough to be an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's not the Punisher.
Yeah, he's a guy getting by. He's doing what he can to survive in the world he knows, without picking a side on whether the Empire or the Rebellion is better.
Yeah, he's not quite as awful. He's not awful enough to be an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's just.
But anti-heroes are a lot of fun.
The thing is, Han Solo was made to be a sidekick, and now they're going to make a full movie out of him, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But I don't.
Well, yeah, it's you kind of like. I hope it's not Finding Dory-esque, like, because I mean, he's a much better sidekick than Dory. But you get my point. That was not Pixar's best run, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Han Solo ended up being the more captivating of the two characters.
Well, he was definitely the much more interesting one because he had a personality, and Luke.
And he had an arc too. He went from like I'm a selfish jerk to eventually like, okay, I can't look past what these people are doing and the good that they are, and I can be good too. And then I'm standing up awkwardly at the end of the movie getting a medal when I really shouldn't be here.
What I think is interesting about like when you juxtapose Hayden Christensen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whining, and then you juxtapose Mark Hamill whining, like it sounds the exact same. And it does. Like they're both very whiny characters, and I don't like either of them.
Can I also go on record right now saying the next Spider-Man movie is going to suck?
Oh, you mean Homecoming 2 or whatever it ends up being called?
2, working title. Is there anything that you really are looking forward to coming out?
Well, I am looking forward to Infinity War, because given that the Russo brothers, what they did with Winter Soldier, just they have really the most, I think, potential to make the most out of that story arc and do those characters justice in relation to that story. And since we know, at least it is rumored, that events in that movie are going to shift the population of the superheroes in some way, shape, or form, my guess is that, and this has been rumored for a long time, so it's not a spoiler alert, guys, or anything necessarily, Captain America will expire, Bucky will pick up the shield, which is perfectly within the comic book things. And as far as I'm concerned, they have earned that transition to this point, more or less. I'm sure the movie will do more to do that too. It's not my most favorite eventuality, but if it's going to happen, that's the most likely.
My only issue there is with you saying that they've earned it. They've definitely built to it better than they have for most changes. Mm-hmm. But they still have Bucky as basically a bad character as far as the heroes are concerned, most of the heroes.
Yeah, there will be a moment. I have confidence that the Russo brothers understand that too. And I think there's going to be a distinctive event in Infinity War that where Bucky proves himself past the villain stigma.
Well,
I don't know what
part
it is.
1 and 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's 2 parts to it, so I don't know where.
They also have the added challenge of not fucking up a 2-part movie.
You have a super chat there from Sanguine.
Oh, Sanguine. Holy cow.
Don't worry. The end of this one.
Sanguine, I think that Han should start good and noble, but the movie should leave him jaded because that would explain his need to seem like a selfish jerk and his desire to see it through. Dealer's choice. I'm still working on the first 2, Sanguine. This might be a carryover in the next stream because I'm having hard enough time with Edwardian action movie.
I don't like him starting out as good and noble. Maybe a decent person. I don't like noble though, because that's a hard fall to pull off in a movie without making him so jaded that he's unrecoverable.
I think they're going to start out with him being having been led into a lifestyle that, from his perspective, is completely good and everything else, and then something's going to happen to challenge that. I think more likely than not, it will be, do I save the Wookiee or do I make a break for it? And I think that's going to be the moment where everything starts to change a little bit. But it's going to be something like there's a price to be paid for him having made that choice. It's not going to be a clean getaway. And so there'll be something to temper his choice to make him wary of doing it again, but it'll have already been made. And then I think that is going to be the thing that sort of shifts him from being jerkwad in the first act to being less jerkwad in the second act as we move forward. I think that's my best guess.
What happens to Jar Jar after? Because nobody told me.
I don't remember the specifics, but he ended up on some planet as some old. He was it was 30 years in the future, so he was very, very old, and he was basically a poor beggar street performer, begging for coins and things, and then talking wistfully about the past and how everything that's gone wrong is his fault, and living in abject misery over the fact that he was the linchpin that brought about the Empire, and he knows it. And it was the way it was written and presented, it was very sad, and it actually was very fitting, all things considered. And it didn't give Jar Jar a pass for what effectively he took part in for the sake of the movie. He was the guy that put before the Galactic Senate that Emperor Palpatine should be given the special powers that eventually made him emperor.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was the catalyst for the onset of the Empire. And by the time we reach him in this part of the story, he's known it forever. He's lived in absolute misery over the chain of events that occurred after his participation. So it was very sad.
That gives Jar Jar way too much credit.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's how the story was laid out by Lucas, so that's what they had to work with. So
I don't recognize the prequels as canon. I don't care.
I know.
They're shit. They are such shit.
The Clone Wars is good though.
Yeah, the Clone Wars makes an attempt to try to fix things, and as a standalone product, it's really good. But it's still
and
having
Ahsoka
to.
is a thing, so obviously it's fabulous.
Yeah, Ahsoka's a weird retcon, but yeah.
I don't care. She's amazing. Shush.
I don't know what other upcoming movies are. I don't have any vested interest in any of the others that I know are coming out. Cryptic, thank you. Can't we just get new ideas for movies? I'm tired of remakes and spin-offs. Even the comic book movies are ripped from the comic book stories line from years ago. Civil War was meh. You didn't say what ad you would want. Do you dealer's choice, or do you have something, or did you want Civil War's meh as your ad?
Yeah.
I liked Civil War.
Civil War was okay.
Civil War was okay. It was okay.
It was a little forced, and that was because time constraints of movies. But
especially the Spider-Man part.
Yeah, but him being like, "Oh my God, your arm's metal, it's so cool," was like totally made up for it. I feel like I'm like made out to be the bitchy person, but whenever we talk about these movies, I'm like, they're all great, and you guys are like, well, they suck.
Do what now?
We talk about comic book movies.
I like comic book movies.
I know, but I'm the only one who's like, everything was fabulous.
Well, you're also not an old school fan, and that's part of. Yeah. I noticed this with my dad way back when the movie. Oh shit! I just had the name of the movie. Backdraft came out.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, not if you watched it with my dad.
Well,
my dad was a firefighter in the Navy, and as we're watching this, he kept pointing out all these stupid shit they were doing wrong. So anytime you know that much about a subject, if you go watch a movie on it and they don't nail everything, you're gonna be like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I just would like to point out that, I don't know, I feel like people think I'm like the negative character of the stream. I like shit. Just saying, on record.
German?
She likes Scheisse.
Oh. Yeah, Scheisse.
Do you like Scheisse movies?
That's not good. Hey, you like gladiator movies? So I actually did a video on that same sort of notion. It was one of the most random videos I've done. There was a guy on the YouTube channel for Cracked who was reviewing Hurt Locker. And it was he admitted it was years after the fact, but it bugged him because he was a military specialist. And he had a big problem with Hurt Locker being praised for its realism, given all of the technical inaccuracies and all this other stuff. Now, his argument was shit because he was talking about, one of the first lines he says, like, Hurt Locker likes to pretend it's reality. And I'm like, of course, it's a movie. And his entire spiel is like that, where he's complaining that the movie isn't accurate and shouldn't be looked at as a piece of like history or something to be looked at as a notion of what went on during the Iraq War or anything. But then he elevates all these other war movies as better than the Hurt Locker. And I'm like, but they're all fiction. They're all not accurate. Anyway, it's a really bad. But yeah, if you're an expert in the subject matter of the movie that you're watching, of course you're going to spot things that the normal person wouldn't. But just because you spot things that are technically inaccurate doesn't make it a bad movie inherently.
Well, it's the same thing that happens with books that are made into movies. Comic books are no different. If you've read the book and you love the book and you go see the movie, chances are you're going to hate the movie because they have to cut so much out of it. Mm-hmm. Like the Harry Potter movies, they basically just completely gloss over the ghosts, which actually play a pretty big part in the movies or in the books. Sorry.
Yeah.
But they had to cut them out because they have time constraints there.
Well, also China.
Well, China.
If there's too much stuff, I mean, it's weird because I would have thought that given their problems with the supernatural, Harry Potter wouldn't have played at all in China. But yeah, I guess there might have been a line they didn't want to cross.
They introduced the ghosts very quickly in the first movie. Yep. Yeah, they completely leave out Peeves. Peeves is such a huge part of the books.
James just said it, Peeves. Yeah.
He's completely left out of the movies, which I understand they have to do that. Going to the historic. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just, I think it's kind of sad that you can't, because we've talked about this before. The pacing of a book versus a movie versus a TV show is so different. Just the way the writing is done, because the mediums are so different. Like with a book, you can take your time before you get to where shit goes down. Whereas in a movie, you have 2 hours. And I don't know. I feel like for some movies that are based on books, like it's better if you take it for what it is.
If you can watch the movie, then read the book. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, just so that I'm not upset while I'm watching a movie based on a book.
Well, we would all go as a family to watch the Harry Potter movies when they came out. And me and my daughter had read them and nobody else had. So as we'd leave the theater, me and her would just start picking apart everything. Even though we liked the movie, just picking it apart because so much was missing. Go lay down, baby. Love you. I hope you feel better.
Night, Lady Monkey.
But when you were talking about historical accuracy in movies, one of my favorite movies is Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
And very little of that movie is historically accurate.
Oh yeah, by no means.
They left out some of the brothers. It's so bad if you look at it through a historical context. But if you watch it just watching the movie, it's a great fucking movie. Adrian Bloom, is that Bloom or Bloom? I think
Adrian
it's Bloom.
Bloom.
Anyway, said that their dad was a hostage negotiator and they watched The Negotiator.
Oh yeah.
That would suck. That would ruin a great movie for me. Because if you watch that movie, that's not how it really goes down, but it's so fucking awesome. And if you guys haven't seen it, go watch.
Well, I'm just upset that James Bond doesn't accurately represent spy work.
He does.
I feel
that's
like
exactly how it happens.
In the old books, he did.
And I really think that we should work to make sure that everything is perfectly accurate in movies and not embellished at all, because that would be awful.
Is somebody actually arguing with you that you are a negative person?
Yeah, I'm not a negative person.
She's really not, guys. She plays the part sometimes here, I know, but she's really not a negative person.
Yeah, you've spoken to me in stuff, but
she can get cranky, but we all get cranky.
Cranky isn't negative though.
I
mean, I like My Little Pony.
Talk about onions.
I feel like if you're a general pessimist, My Little Pony and Tinkerbell aren't going to be your thing.
My Little Pony and Tinkerbell, you should be negative about.
No, but they're good.
No, actually, Tinkerbell, no, but My Little Pony, definitely.
Have you seen it yet?
What's that?
Have you watched it?
Actually, I put it on for Little Butt the other night, and she watched about 2 minutes of it and turned and left. So we went and played instead of watching that crap.
It's not crap. It's good, but that's okay. Not everybody's gonna like it. It's okay.
She loves the Care Bears.
I like the Care Bears.
The new Care Bears are not like the old series. If you guys watch it, it is some creepy shit.
It's just the new Care Bears or the old ones?
She likes the new ones.
Did they
They had Care Bear cartoons back when I was a kid. The new ones.
I know. I remember. I mean, not I don't remember when you were a kid. Oh, what the hell is it?
I don't remember when you were a kid.
What did they do with the?
Go to Netflix and look up Care Bears and watch an episode or two. They're just fucking oh my god.
What did they do?
Brian Sanders, has she watched Animaniacs? No, I can't take the Animaniacs. They're just. Though the Animaniacs need Ritalin, and I never really cared for them. They're a little too cheery for me.
So all the Care Bear cousins. Oh, that's new.
Yeah, the Care Bear cousins too.
I've got 2 ads written.
Okay.
Cool.
I actually have the Edwardian action movie done.
All right, here we go.
Let me get a drink of water real quick so I make sure I don't. All right, here we go. Anarchists have taken King Edward VII captive, barricading themselves in the royal palace, killing all of the royal staff.
Dun, dun, dun.
All save one, the housekeeper. Now, Charlotte Lyles must tighten her battle corset and take on the baddies with her deadly blunderbuss. Prepare for prudish peril with Made of Sterner Stuff.
Cute.
And then the other one is the random one that Sanguine asked for. And the Amazon random product generator never misses a beat. Are you too cheap to buy tickets for Jurassic World?
Yeah.
Then make your own prehistoric park with Sanguine's multicolored plastic dinosaur toy set. Become your very own Chris Pratt and wrangle a squad of Sanguine's dino toys. And now I have to finish the consciousness transfers one because, oh God.
Are we taking questions from Chitty Chat yet?
Yeah, it's chat time. So guys, if you have any questions for us that we haven't already covered or new ones or anything else, please just put them into the chat box with enough question marks in a nothing for you here style that we know it's a question and not a statement. Super housekeeper, yeah.
What did Izzy Q? Uzi Q?
Uzi Q asked me what movies I've seen the most because of watching them with Grand Monkey. Grand Monkey really, really loves Trolls. She loves the Goofy movie, Moana, and Frozen. We have watched those a ton.
I have Frozen on Blu-ray.
Nothing for you here asked, did you guys miss me last night? Of course we did. Or the last couple of days. Of course we did.
Did I miss you? Only because my aim was off. But
Can you,
You know
like
what?
get another
I was
Misty
watching
joke,
Married with
please?
Children. I watched Married with Children last night, and the episode came on. Peg comes in and goes, "Did you miss me, Al?" And he goes, "With every shot so far." And I thought you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Show Grand Monkey Powerpuff Girls. I tried. She didn't care for him.
I didn't like
she
Powerpuff
apparently
Girls kid either.
It's my kids loved him, but as I watched him again, it's like, why the hell did we used to watch this?
I didn't like the monkey. Oh shit, sorry.
That's what Mojo Jojo.
Yeah.
Mojo Jojo.
Oh my god, my chat just jumped.
I've got one more ad. I'm some machine today. Okay. Having a hard time studying for that exam? Do you wish the class nerd was taking your test for you? Then you need MindSuck, our patented portable cranium contraption. Simply connect MindSuck to your target, whether they like it or not, and before you know it, you'll be sharing headspace with your favorite brainiac. Get your own MindSuck today. Warning, side effects may include permanent psychosis.
Nice. Donald the Repentless Monkey, any Regis / inventory stories from your Walmart days?
Oh.
Not many. But goddamn, I got to do a Walmart stream. Got to do.
Can you just tell a Walmart story? Just one.
God.
Sneak preview.
I will tell you, I used to love my favorite 2 days working at Walmart were inventory and Blitz, Black Friday, and for two completely different reasons. On inventory day, if you work at Walmart, you're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to touch anything. The only thing you can touch is if something falls on the floor, you can put it back up, but you're not allowed to move anything around. And then on Black Friday, it is so busy, your day goes by like that because there's no time to stop and think. And everybody, I never made any bones about those being my favorite 2 days. Everybody knew it, and I proudly said so. And because of that, 1 year on inventory, the managers, to teach me a lesson.
Wait, are
after
inventory like?
They bring in a company called Regis, and they count everything in the store.
And this happens once a year?
Once a year. Well, it used to happen once a year. Talking to the people who still work there, it's down to like once every 2 years or 3 years now.
Okay.
But yeah, to teach me a lesson, certain people were picked to go behind Regis and sample parts of what they were doing and recount it to make sure that they were counting correctly. And so they made me spend all goddamn day doing that because I was too happy about not wanting or not having to do anything. They were assholes sometimes. Yeah, but we'll do a stream and talk about Walmart because so many good
Do you have any
stories
crazy Black Friday stories?
No, because most of the time there were a few times like a friend of mine got punched in the face because two men were fighting over comforters.
What?
Jesus.
That was kind of a weird one. Yeah, she's this tiny little girl, and what they would do is they used to just put everything out in the store. And she was standing next to this, and as the time rolls around, she's supposed to cut off the black outer wrapping, and then everybody can rip into it. Well, if you work there, nobody waits. Somebody will yell, "It's time," and even though it wasn't. And somebody yelled that, and these two guys just grabbed the same comforter in a whole stack that by the end of the day, there was still half of them left. And they start tussling over it, and she's like, "Guys, stop it." And one of them punched her.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Did he get kicked out?
No, because by the time you could get police there, there's no way to detain him. The store's so busy, even the asset protection folks can't get everywhere they're needed. I'm not saying if you want to steal at Walmart, Black Friday is a good day to do it. I'm just saying it's not the worst day. Okay, scroll back here, see what questions I've missed. Do you like giblets gravy or communist gravy? I'm not a big gravy fan.
A little gravy for the brain.
Man, there's a lot of stuff since I talked last. Okay, I don't mean to sound weird, but have you ever thought about what would happen after you died?
I fucking hate questions like that.
My
Constantly. It's losing my mom when I did. I one of my biggest fears was always dying before my children grew up, and now it's dying before my grandchild does.
Yeah, can we just not with those kinds of questions?
Is anyone concerned when movies get real life locations messed up, like in Transformers 2? I don't pay that much attention to it because I know so many times they have to do that for shooting reasons. So
unless it's someplace that I'm really familiar with.
What do you mean real life locations messed up?
Like if they film, they say that the movie's taking place in Chicago when it's obviously being filmed in Vancouver, BC or something,
Yeah.
Oh.
Or they, what was it? I forget what movie it was, but there was some comedy where they had the characters start out on a boat at a boathouse, and then suddenly they were in another location in their little dinghy boat. And later it was revealed that, well, the location their houseboat was at was a lake, and where they went was a beach next to the ocean. So they couldn't have gone there without somehow crossing land. So they just cut between two bodies of water and said it was one continuous trip. I forget.
Oh, there's a Walmart story for you.
Okay.
Oh, real quick.
Sure.
Fucking Millennial said, SDA, honestly, do you ever want to have kids? I don't know why people are so surprised when I say that I want kids. Yeah, I want kids.
She wants
Maybe
kids.
it's because
for
you're aversion to romance.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, in my opinion, I think I've got some pretty good reasons for that, but, it's okay.
Okay, now this story still pisses me off. I was working at the service desk, and the lady working there with me was wearing a sweatshirt that said Alaska. This guy comes up to the service desk, and he's getting a money order or something like that. And he asks her, have you ever been to Alaska? And she says, yeah, we drove there last year. And he goes, did you go through Canada? Now, if you don't understand why that's funny, look at a map.
Yeah.
And to this day, that him saying that just pisses me off when I think about it because
Did Did you go
There's no other way, god damn it.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, to get there by land, to drive there, unless they drove there and part of it was on a ferry. I guess if part of it was on a ferry, then technically yes, you could drive to Alaska and not cross through Canada by land. But yeah, that's about as close as you could get.
Can you do a modern Bane impression, Scribe Light?
Modern? But just watch Dark Knight Rises. It was made 3-4 years ago or something. Modern. I don't understand.
But they want to hear you do it, Scribe.
You just put your hands over your mouth and go like,
I see that everyone here is in the chat.
Yeah, there you go.
Well done.
Yeah, that's about as close as I can get right now without thinking of an actual line to say.
What do you think Trump's chances of winning in 2020 are?
Even money.
Right now, yeah, I'd say even money.
I mean, it's very atypical for someone not to serve both terms.
Especially lately, not since George H.W. Bush, when did he only have a one-termer?
So
that was last time.
I mean, that's pretty common. There's also a pretty good chance that the tables are gonna. Well, it depends. If they put forth a Bernie Sanders in 2024, it's a lot less likely that it'll flip the other way because even a lot of Democrats are not that far left. So they might screw the pooch there. But if they do a moderate Democrat in 2024, the Democrats will win the White House. Because it's like ping pong.
Yeah,
Phobos Media. Oh, sorry.
So on the bright side, if we're still doing this in that many years, we will have plenty of stuff to bitch about once there's an opposition party in office. So,
what is your experience with having videos under review for monetization? I have one under review now about Yvette. I don't know how to say that. Flarkis? About Yvette Flarkis's arrest. I already appealed it, so to speak. I've had quite a few videos demonetized. What you do, they'll send it to you, depending on what you said in it. They actually do tend to review them. So as long as you didn't do something horrific, chances are you'll get it back.
Well, speaking of, I actually got an email this time when they were like, we don't want your money. And I'm actually going to see if this is one of the streams that Mara and I did together. And I was like, why did you demonetize that? I mean, the one where I said nobody cares about your dead baby, Sam, is perfectly fine, but it's still under review. I don't know what the issue with that stream was, but either way.
As far as I know, I have yet to have a video that I've monetized challenged for monetization. I've had a couple of videos that I didn't monetize be claimed by TED Talks, and they've monetized them in my stead, but that's the closest I've had. Yeah, that's about it.
Thoughts on the Xbox One X? The name is stupid as fuck. That's my only opinion on the Xbox One X. Otherwise, it's a console. Some people love it. It'll have some good games on it. If you like consoles, I suggest getting one. But I play on computer, so
yeah.
Phobos Media says, thanks for the answer. That video was actually getting me a lot of views. That is the one downside to the whole monetization thing. If you get hit immediately, it doesn't matter when they bring back monetization, because what monetization you would have got is already gone, because most of your views come in the first 48 hours. So what do you guys think about Lauren Southern losing her Patreon? I haven't heard why she did, so I'm
apparently Suit Yourself lost his as well.
Oh,
okay.
From somebody said that. I could be lying, maybe. I was And somebody told me, I was like, okay, too lazy to look it up. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, does anybody know why Lauren lost hers? I'm
Or
talking
Suit,
chat.
for that matter.
She put a video out about it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, though.
Yeah, me neither.
Honestly, I haven't watched any anti-SJW stuff in like a week.
I've been watching some. I just didn't today, and that video just came out recently, and I'm catching up on other stuff. So.
Oh, also, does anybody who follows game theory know when the FNAF theory is coming out? Is that coming out today, or? Because I want.
The Jack Cochran says they claim she was endangering lives.
What?
Well, I see what they're saying there. It's bullshit, but if you guys saw her video where she was talking about how she got people hurt, it wasn't actually her fault. I mean, the people who did it are to blame, not her. She went to I forget where the rally was at, and a couple of people got beat up that were with her or thought to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, if that's their reason, I mean, it's fucking stupid because that's not her fault that people are assholes.
Game theory is shit. What you feel us to? No, I just said I want to know when the new game theory episode's coming out because I like game theory. That's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Sorry.
Nothing for you here says wrong thing at Ranting Monkey. I'm just speaking on what I know. So if you know something else,
yeah.
Or if anybody knows if Suit has actually been dinged and why, I'd be curious to know.
Nothing for you here says she was going to do a thing on a boat or some shit. People,
I'm sure
go on boats.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look it up and I'll give you guys my opinion tomorrow. Because I honestly don't know enough about what's going on to comment. But I mean, by her own standards, she said she put people at risk. So if that's their reasoning, it's because of her association with Generation Identity. I don't know what that is either. I need to get out more. Do we have any other questions, guys? What do we got going on?
Started looking into self-publishing stuff on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And you can do ebooks, audiobooks, and like book books. So I'm gonna have to look into that and actually see what I need to do to get that done.
It's really not that hard.
I know, but I actually want to print books, so that's, I think, is a little bit more complicated.
What do you mean print books?
Like I want actual like physical copies.
You can do that.
I know. But I just don't know how much money it costs.
Depends on the size of the book, and they have a breakdown you'll have to look up. If Riley Dennis runs for president, would he run as a Democrat with a Republican logo, claiming that he's part of the trans party?
Oh, apparently.
Put it past him.
Sorry. Apparently, Suit's Patreon is still up. Okay, so then somebody was. Yeah.
So for Lauren Southern, the letter that she received says, it appears you are currently raising funds in order to take part in activities that are likely to cause loss of life. We have therefore decided to remove your page from Patreon and paid out your final balance of $95. What that activity is, I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming it has something to do with a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Well, because I would like to offer, I was just typing this in chat. I'd like to offer signed copies and stuff like that, so.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll probably have a separate shirt store for book stuff once I dox myself. So, you know, the cover art will be pretty, I promise. I hope.
Ryolu, I think that's how you say that. If Riley Dennis runs, I'll hang myself. Don't worry, Riley is way too young to run for president.
If Riley would be laughed out of the thing or whatever. I don't know.
Donald Trump is our president. Anything is possible.
There's still that 35-year rule.
Yep.
So you got at least a decade before Riley can run, guys. Yeah. Relax.
How old is he? He what? They're
I
25.
don't know. Mid to late 20s. Apparently they were going to rescue refugees in the Mediterranean and take them back to Africa instead of taking them to Europe.
Okay.
Oh fuck. All
So
right.
she was doing some vaguely shady shit, I guess.
Well, she says that she wasn't actually going to participate. It was something she talked about, but wasn't actually going to do. And the letter doesn't say why they're taking her Patreon down, just that dangerous activities, and that's all they say. So I don't know what's going on.
Thoughts on the GTA series? I love the GTA series. I didn't care much for like Chinatown Wars and Liberty City Stories, but 3 was excellent. San Andreas is
classic.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I didn't like 4.
San Andreas was a shitty movie.
Yeah, I didn't like 4. I haven't played 5 yet.
I could never get 4 running. I bought 4, and at the time my computer couldn't run it. And I thought, oh well, no big deal. I'll play it eventually. And by the time I got a computer that could run it, games for Windows no longer worked.
Oh right, yeah.
Which was integrated into that game, and it's just Inquisitor 8.1. Saints Row is better than GTA. The first Saints Row was fucking awesome.
Saints Row 2 is really good.
I still don't like that they made the character talk. I loved that he didn't talk in the first movie.
I love giving my character that Cockney British accent or whatever, and I made a character that fit that voice, and it always worked for me.
If you went to your grandkid's prom and found out someone spiked the punch, would you tell anyone? Fuck, no, I would dump that shit out right in front of them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I understand kids are going to do stupid shit, but I am never going to encourage it. I did a lot of stupid shit, and it's lucky that I made it to my 20s. So yeah, kids are going to do stupid shit, but you don't encourage it, and you don't help them do it.
So someone, I guess, is squeaky doors upset with me. You eat Lunchables, watch FNAF theories and Tinkerbell movies, and you're 20.
What's wrong with that?
What? Lunchables are cheap. FNAF theories are good, and Tinkerbell's good. And yeah, I happen to have been born roughly 20 years ago. How can I help you?
For the record, I love ham and Swiss Lunchables.
I'm also about to finish my first manuscript, and I'm in college, so like, it's okay.
And she has an afro taint.
But that's not among. Look, can we like maybe take that away from my list of achievements, please?
I think that's quite the achievement.
Isn't that a shirt you're making or something?
What, afro taint?
No, just like it should say, "Ask me about my afro taint."
Yes.
No.
No, you should have a shirt that says "Ask me about my afro taint." Yeah.
So SDA is a cheap date. Good to know. Yeah, just pop in a Tinkerbell movie and give her a.
She's a human Lunchable.
It has to be. It has to be
pizza
Lunchable though.
See, I was listening.
Yeah. Do you guys want an "Ask Me About My Afro Taint" T-shirt? Because I'll make one. I don't give a shit.
Guys, we have 2 minutes left.
2-minute warning.
What else do we have? What kind of questions do you have that don't involve me? I can't think anymore. Yeah, I miss my brain. I really do.
There's one thing I miss. It's my mind.
Yes.
Maybe you've been a victim of mind suck.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Yeah, somebody used mind suck on you. Probably Lady Monkey.
Did you ever get that other one done? The Cryptics ad?
You never asked for one.
I
mean, I looked unless I missed it. It wasn't in the
chat.
message.
Whatever the last 3 words of that super chat were. Ranting Monkey, are you going to sell Grand Monkey shirts? I've thought about making, because they actually have kids shirts, and I've thought about putting the little monkey on there.
Cryptics.
What are White Castle burgers?
No, he said
Their
civil.
little-
He said Civil War was meh. That was the end of his super chat message. So if there's
Yeah. And when I asked him if he had something else in mind or just that for the ad, he repeated Civil War meh.
What's wrong with FNAF theories? It's
Civil
interesting
War.
lore. I don't care.
An
What
ad
is
about
FNAF?
an ad about
Five
the
Nights
Marvel
at
movie?
Freddy's. I've never played the game, but I don't know. I just find the theories interesting.
So wait, an ad about the Civil War or an ad about the Marvel movie?
I think the Marvel movie. Cryptic, you still here?
Civil War was meh. That didn't seem like an ad ask. That seemed like a opinion about the movie we were talking about. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to do it between now and next stream, but
Yeah. Guys, it is 11 o'clock.
mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming out today. Cryptic, either leave a comment in the video or give me on Twitter if you had an ad you wanted done, and I'll cook it up between now and next stream. Monkey, SDA, as always, thank you for joining me. Everyone else, Monkey needs a notepad.
Monkey doesn't need a notepad.
Your life makes me sad. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.